Welcome to the Unraveling Achiever, the podcast for the person who's done everything right and is now questioning what that even means. I'm Angela McKay, former SVP of HR turned intuitive career coach and soul reading practitioner. I help accomplished folks like you to stop defaulting to what looks good and start building what feels true. Because you don't have to turn your life upside down, you just need to point your achiever energy toward a soul led career and life you'll love. Every episode, I tune into the energy of what's showing up for my clients and community and share what needs to be heard. No bypassing the mess, just honest guidance for the unraveling that changes everything. Let's get into it. For episode 26, I took a listener's question and did a reading in the episode. I really loved that format, both for the person who asked and for everyone listening. It taps into the collective energy in a way that reaches people who needed to hear it. I opened this up to everyone. So if you have a question about your career, your life direction, your next steps, something related to purpose, perfectionism, authenticity, decision-making, fear, boundaries, or anything else tied to building a soul-led career, submit your question. Your name will never be shared. Only your question will be read on the show. You can find the submission form in the show notes, and please don't be shy about submitting. Even the act of typing it out and pressing submit is empowering. I received responses and chose a question to read on today's episode. Before I share the reading, I want to point out something important. We operate as collectives. Within collectives, there's usually some thread of similarity, relatability, shared energy. While this reading is for one person who submitted this question, there's often something in it for each of us. It might be the whole message, it might be just one piece, but I guarantee there's something in here that will land with you. So as you listen, sink in and find what's for you as well. Here's the question I received. I'm feeling very comfortable in my current role at work, but I have also become stagnant. There have been a lot of ups and downs in the last year that have somewhat settled recently. While that's a nice change, the reality is that there is no growth opportunity where I am. I know the time has come for me to make a change, but I'm held back because I don't know where to go from here. I would love some insight around what steps to take to open up the path ahead, to help me shine a light on my next career path. This question, while specific to this person, is a shared experience. I'm sure you can already see elements that might relate to something you're feeling, even if the exact situation isn't yours. For the reading, I started by tuning into this person's energy through their Akashic Records, which is that library of you, past, present, future. I like to go there because it puts me purely in their energy without any other considerations. And from there, I'll start the reading. As I enter the Akashic Records, I notice the color pink. Pink here is representative of family, friendships, love, and connection, and how rich this is in your life. I also noticed that your Akashic Records room was up and to the right, which suggests to me a matriarchal connection. The women in your family or the women in your lineage are a strong connection and foundation for you. In your room, I wanted to make sure that I looked at your book of purpose and your book of career, not to do an in-depth reading as I would in a soul reading, but just to give me some direction as I'm looking at your career question. As I look at your book of purpose, I don't see a strong connection between your purpose and your career. Sometimes I see them very connected, depending on the person, meaning that your career has to engage that greater sense of purpose for it to be satisfying. But I don't see that immediate connection for you, not strongly at least, but there is a connection. It's a take it or leave it sort of thing, meaning that purpose doesn't have to be integrated in that deep, intentional way. But if it's not, it does mean that there needs to be more fulfillment and more relationship to purpose in other areas of your life. Giving a quick glimpse at your purpose, I also see that there's an unfolding of sorts, like a rose that's unfolding, the petals moving from a tighter flower to an open flower. This is an element of your purpose. In this lifetime, you're really leaning into that lesson of unfoldment. Rather than keeping things tight and small and close to you, part of what you're here to lean into and learn involves an expansion of some sort. And that expansion requires a belief, not just that you can expand, but that there is enough substance to you to expand. Now, your book of career. I see green. Green here suggests two things to me. While it doesn't have to be a full expression of purpose, your heart does have to be in it to a certain extent in your work. It can't be something you really don't care about at all, where you just clock in, clock out, and don't care about anything in between. For some people, that's fine, but for you, there has to be an element of your heart being in it, meaning you either care about it in terms of the integrity and the quality of the work, or you care about the impact of it. One or the other is fine. The other element of green is that while this is a source of money, it's your job, there's also something in the rest of your life that is calling to you. So you can look at your career as simply the thing you do to make money. That's fine. Don't judge that. It doesn't have to be something more. As I'm looking at your book of career, there does seem to be an element that no matter where you are meant to be in connection with others and you are meant to shine. If it's a position where you don't have a lot of crossover with other people, no collaboration, where you don't get to showcase your unique talents, your unique approach, your personality, your authentic self, if none of that is happening, if it's a tiny, dim corner alone at a computer with no crossover, no connection, no shining, no sharing, no collaborating, that won't feed what it needs to feed for you. In your book of career, there's an element that's supposed to be in connection, in collaboration, in sharing. I very much see that unfolding rose and this message as linked because these opportunities to be in collaboration and connection with others is what allows you to kind of come out of your shell a little bit more and a little bit more and unfold. So there are some overall pictures. As I look at your question specifically and what is around it energetically, part of what stands out for me is this. You said you're feeling very comfortable in your current role. And in the context you gave me, you mentioned that the job checks a lot of boxes, but you feel like you need some change. When I look into that specifically, there's really less about the role and more about you in the role. There's something about you in this current state of career that feels kind of tight, closeted, closed off, guarded. It's like a self-containment of sorts. There's more opportunity for you to show up in a different, more authentic, more expansive way where you currently are. So I really don't see it as a jump from where you are into somewhere else as being the immediate next step. It's not that it won't be a step. It's just, it's not the immediate next step. Instead, what's really coming through is it seems that this is a season for passion projects. Because work is feeling comfortable, because it does check a lot of boxes, and you're feeling that it's time to make a change, I encourage you to not let career be the sole focus of that calling for change. It happens often that we look straight to our career as the source of stagnation. And when we do, we look at it in a very laser-focused technical way. But this calling that you're feeling seems to be something that exists outside of work and inside of passion projects. Things you've wanted to do and try that perhaps you've held yourself back from, those are the areas where you are going to find your change and your growth and your opportunities for expansion in this season. And what's amazing is when that happens, when you do that, it allows for you to see your career much differently because you're no longer putting all of the pressure on your career itself. Instead, you're fulfilling these other parts of your life. If you're familiar with the Wheel of Life exercise, it has all of these different areas of our life. Career is just one of them. This feels like more than experiences. It's more than travel or spending time with friends. It's things you would like to do that you've likely considered doing before. These don't feel necessarily new. These feel like ideas you've already had, maybe things you've already done a little, maybe not at all, but they're ideas that you've had. It's time to explore those more deeply. Explore them in a way that's not pressure filled, that they don't have to amount to something, that they don't have to meet an expectation. Instead, just put them in a place of pure exploration and learning, both about the thing and about yourself inside of the experience. Those are going to continue this unfoldment for you. That will help you have different perspective on career. This reading is by no means the end all be all of anything. Let's get that straight. However, it feels like your career as it is could be a really supportive, stable place to keep intact as you explore passion projects. It might start to unfold things at work too, perhaps opportunities or collaborations that exist there. But let that be a byproduct, not the focus. It's almost like the career element has weighed on your mind for so long that it has kind of a vice grip on you. It's the default thing to take your attention. It's the default thing to feel like it's out of place. So we want to shift some of that energy over into the passion project space instead. All right, to close out, I pulled a couple of cards just to see what additional information I could get to look at the current stagnation and the path ahead as you reflected in your question. The first thing I looked into is, what is the current stagnation here for? Often in seasons of life, there's something that it's trying to show us. The card I received is the Two of Pentacles reversed. Pentacles is in the space of work, career, money, material things, tangible things we can hold. In its upright position, I would say prioritization. In its reversed position, I'm seeing reprioritization and rebalance. This has to do with a clarity of focus, a rebalance. This is really pointing to what I was talking about before. Career is just getting too much of your focus, your energy, your mental space. It's almost like this lure that keeps pulling you to look at it. At the same time, you have this calling to make a change. This Two of Pentacles is reinforcing that we need to look at those other areas of life and see where focus can go in those. The passion projects, the ideas that excite you but also scare you a little bit. The ones you think, oh, I can't do that. Or the ones you think, I already tried and I couldn't get there. Those ones really need some light on them. So we need to balance the focus. Take some of it off of career and put it into the passion projects. Let career be a stable placeholder right now. It might not be forever. It's just going to be a stable placeholder right now. And it will benefit from this expansion that you're doing outside of it. The other thing coming through in this card is also something that I've already reflected for you. I feel like some of these passion projects are something that you have indeed thought about before. And you've tried them or not tried them, but you've thought about them before. And they either continue to pop up or they kind of keep a hold on you. All of those would be considered part of this calling, something your soul is being guided to. They really don't go away. They just keep asking for your attention. So I have a feeling that some of those need to be resurfaced. This reprioritization just means to not just look at career, but also look in the direction of these things that continue to surface for you. They're going to be in that passion project bucket. Don't try to make anything of them to replace your career right now. Just let them be something that gets your attention so that the flame can start and you can learn and experience rather than trying to make them something that will immediately put out the flame on them. Instead, let's keep them in that place of pure curiosity, enjoyment, experience, experiment, passion projects. When looking at this, the stagnation that you're feeling in work, which also makes you feel a bit of stagnation in life, is not telling you on its surface, on its face, to change work. It's nudging you to look outside of work. It's almost coming with a message of like, we're good, we're cool, we're comfortable, we're stable. So we're giving you space to explore. We're giving you a solid foundation from which you can explore so that you can address the stagnation that you're feeling and not worry about the career. I then pulled another card to look at what is the next best step you can take to move forward. The card I received is the Three of Cups. So, cups is emotion, intuition, love, relationship, friendship, connection. It's a feeling suit. The Three of Cups goes, one, two, three. One is you, two is you and another, and three is you and others. I already alluded to the fact that you have a lot of friendships and connections, and that part of your life is really rich. That is good. That is important. And you're going to want to embrace and accept, receive their support. So I do want to emphasize that this group of people is there for you. As much as you can, allow yourself to open up to them about what your thoughts are, about what it is that you want to try, about what it is that you want to experience. Let them in. If you're hiding some of those spaces from them, if this is a group that fills your heart, then allowing them into your heart space in these other ways will be really beneficial for you and really for the relationship. As you dive into these passion projects, they're going to be amazing support for you as you navigate that as a person and as you navigate that in action. In the Three of Cups, the three women have their arms raised, their cups in the air, they're connected, they're dancing. It's really representative of the celebration and connection that we have among our group of folks. Regarding what is the next best step you can take to move forward, this applies to both your career and the passion project's path. You'll be really well suited to keep a focus on collaboration, crossover, connection, sharing your perspective, shining your light. Both paths will benefit very greatly from connection, both to those you regularly connect with and connection to new people. So, as you're evaluating what you're doing at work, or as you're evaluating what you're doing in the passion projects, understand that connection is going to be pivotal in both areas. Otherwise, your feeling of stagnation will continue to compound. Over in the passion projects area, I see this even more strongly. I feel like you might get to points where being in connection with others, the actual reach out part of it, might be difficult. You might feel a resistance to it for many reasons. Just watch out for that. As much as you can, kind of push yourself over that line of confidence to make any of the reach outs that you would need to make to further your pursuit of that passion project. Do it in a way of pure connection and learning and expansion rather than a have to or a what if I fail. Just stay purely in the energy of love and curiosity in those. So there you have it. We were looking for some insight around next steps to take to open the path ahead and to help shine a light on your next career path. And what came through is that your career is pointing to some other areas and saying, maybe don't look at me so harshly right now or so intently. We're good. We're stable. You don't have to worry about our relationship. And now go explore the world. So thank you so much for submitting your question and allowing me to do this brief reading for you. I really enjoyed having something specific to respond to. I really loved recording the podcast in this way. I hope that you received insights that you can take and reflect on and align with as it feels true. And of course, if you want to go deeper into any of this, just reach out to me and we'll get on the calendar for a more in-depth and specific reading. And for all, while this reading was for one person, I know there are takeaways in this for many. So, for everyone who had pieces of it that sparked some insight, awareness, reflection in you, take what serves and leave what doesn't. And again, before you go, a reminder of your opportunity to submit a question for the show. If you have a question that's been on your heart and mind about your career, your life direction, what's calling you forward, submit it. The link is in the show notes. Your name stays private. Only your question gets read on the show. Thank you for tuning in and for letting the message that's for you find you. And if what you heard today resonated, I'd love to support you in going deeper. Soul Reading is a 75-minute one-on-one session where I open your Akashic Records and help you reconnect with what your soul already knows about your path, your purpose, and what's next. You can learn more and book at AngelaMckayLLC.com/soul-reading. And if this episode landed for you, subscribe or follow so you don't miss what's coming next. New episodes drop on Wednesdays. Thanks for being here, and until next time, take care.